Well, welcome, Cary.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There you go.
Now, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good morning, all. I'd like to introduce myself and let you learn a little bit about me. I was born in 1967 in Yokosuka, Japan, on a US naval base where my father was serving as a US Navy pilot. My mother, my father, my older sister, and I returned to the United States in 1969 when my father retired from the military and started working as a commercial airline pilot for Western Airlines, which is now Delta Airlines. I am the second oldest of 9 children. Yes, I come from a very large, close-knit Catholic family. There's something said about birth order in families. According to Alfred Adler, a prominent psychotherapist, there's a direct correlation between birth orders and personalities. Apparently, being second in line, I had a role model in my older sister. This is very true. Firstborns are typically smarter. However, a secondborn is most likely better adjusted in life. Well, I'm definitely well adjusted in life, but my older sister is too. And she is much smarter than me. Well, there might be something in what Adler said. I look up to my older sister today with a lot of love and admiration and respect. She has made a positive difference in my life. As I think back to my earlier years, there were several defining moments that I can point to that identifies me and my personality. When I was in the 2nd grade, I decided I wanted to be a police officer. My 2nd grade teacher assigned the class to draw pictures of what we wanted to be when we grew up. I drew a picture of a policeman, a picture of me, arrow pointing to the policeman, and said that I wanted to be a policeman that was a girl. The little boy sitting next to me was making fun of me, saying that I wanted to be a boy when I grew up. This caused all sorts of angst and embarrassment, and I went home crying to my parents that day, saying that I was teased in school. My mom and dad were so loving and so caring, and they instilled in me that I could be whatever I wanted to be when I grew up. This was one of many incidents where my parents made a difference for me in my life. A second defining moment came when I was in high school, and I decided I wanted to become a famous hairdresser and makeup artist. Because I was only 16 years old and not yet old enough to be a police officer, I decided I wanted to style hair and do makeup. I wanted to work in a professional salon. It took about 1.5 years, but I was able to obtain my cosmetology license, and I went to cosmetology school after high school and on the weekends. And then just before my 18th birthday, I graduated high school and cosmetology school at the same time. I started working in a salon in Anaheim Hills when I was 18, right up to my 21st birthday. And let me say, I wasn't a good hairdresser at all. A third defining moment came right on my 21st birthday. And I look back now, and on that day, with a lot of naivety and probably bravado, I called the Orange County Sheriff's Department, 1-800-THE-DUKE back then. And Nicole, this is for you, it was pre-internet, and introduced myself to the secretary who answered the phone. I said, "Hi, my name's Cary Buechler, and I want to be a deputy sheriff. When can I start the academy? And oh, by the way, I want you to know you and your department will be so lucky to have me because I'll be a great employee and I'll be a great officer." The secretary on the other end of the line started laughing at me and probably wasn't taking me very serious. She said there was a hiring process and I had to pass a written test, a physical agility test, and most importantly, a background check. I told her, no problem, I have this. I've been planning this since I was 7 years old. I then told her that I would personally introduce myself to her at the office when I became a deputy sheriff. As it so happened, the sheriff's department testing was that weekend. And I went to the testing site, never once thinking that I wasn't going to get hired or even pass any of the tests. There were over 1,000 applicants that day. Well, it was all whittled down to 33 of us by the end of the process. And needless to say, I did pass all the tests and the background check. I started the academy in 1989 and graduated 6 months later, and the rest is history. My police career spanned 31 plus years. My first 8 years, I worked in the men's maximum and women's maximum security jail, in addition to working at the minimum security jail called the Farm in Irvine. I worked in the last 23 years, I worked in patrol in all contract cities in Orange County and South Orange County and North Orange County and unincorporated areas. My professional expertise at work was DUI and narcotics, for which I have received numerous recognitions and achievement awards for the hundreds of DUI and narcotic arrests I've made over the years. I know I have made a difference. As a side note, several years after I became a deputy, I had to go back to personnel to put some paperwork in my file. I met this secretary I originally called several years earlier, and we both had a good laugh at my phone call when I called in the hiring process. She said she had never received a phone call like mine before or even since, and actually we're still good friends today. My final defining moment, and more like a life-changing moment for me, which came shortly after I turned 30 years old and I had my daughter, Nicole. I was a single mother working as a peace officer in patrol. I was so excited to be a mother. It was by far the best time of my life. I loved working as a deputy, but I loved being a mother more. My daughter has taught me so much over the years: love, kindness, patience, strength, friendship, and much, much more. Now, at 23, she's about ready to graduate college and well on her way to obtaining her teaching credentials to teach high school. She most definitely made a difference in my life. But my story doesn't end here. In fact, it's just beginning. I'm starting a second new career in financial services. I enjoy working with people and helping them out with their personal and financial issues. For all my professional accomplishments, my educational pursuits, and my professional achievements in business, none of this would have happened had I not had the loving, positive influence of those around me: my mother, my father, my older sister, and all my brothers and sisters, as a matter of fact, and most especially my daughter. To sum up what I learned about myself in this process in writing this speech is that when I put my mind to something, I'll accomplish it. I know this of me. I'm excited to be a part of this Toastmasters and this club specifically. I see Toastmasters as one avenue to helping me achieve my goals of becoming a better public speaker, a better leader, and most importantly, a better person. And as we embark on this journey together, I will be looking to all of you to make a difference in my life too. Thank you.